Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play Occult Chronicles. In the last episode, we completed all of the quests inside the house's first floor. And Sarah Anawa has gone from struggling to defeat even a single creature, which was the case back in the first episode, to unbelievably godlike stats in this episode. She has almost maxed out all of her skill cards that are possible, and her stat distribution is very high. She is one of the highest stat rating characters I have ever had the pleasure of playing. We also began picking up a few Arcana cards in the last episode, gaining Strength and the Magician, both of which are also helping our stats somewhat, and I will really regret having to use these down in the basement. Hopefully that won't be the case. We've gotten quite a few edges as well to help us and a few more spells, and with that Magician card, I'm looking forward to getting even more spells for Sarah Anawa. And now it is time to test our metal out in the backyard and the second floor. So let's begin by going back there. The backyard is actually the one area in the game that I am still somewhat not used to, given that I generally don't actually step foot back there very often. Again, most of the time when I play this game, I'm playing it on a not a hard difficulty level, but I'm playing it on whatchamacallit, with the story mode turned on, as I feel pressure in that instance, and I must make some tough choices in order to win the game. I don't think Sarah Anawa probably would have won had I not turned the story mode off, because we would, this is episode, like, what is this now for her? 7? 8? We would have had probably close to 9 story tokens drawn, and that means we would have been in the basement long before this, and we would have been struggling down there, and probably would have died horrifically down there. Alright, hold on. I'm getting a little bit distracted. Can we perform this? Roll 1 bone, select the non-face played card, and bump the value up. Then bump the card value down on a random non-face trick card. Alright, let's try using that with a card we'll play. So I'll play the 7 here. Then I go to Trick Shot. And actually, we'll flip another card. Okay, so let's go ahead and give it a try. So we'll play Trick Shot. Rolling a Cup's Bone. We get a 6. We'll select that to increase it to a 10. And then we drew a card, and now another random, I think, non-revealed. Oh, non-revealed. Non-revealed trick card has been lowered by 6 in value as well, if I recall correctly. Is that right? Roll 1 bone, then select a non-face played card and bump its card value up plus X. Then bump the card value down on a random non-face trick card not yet revealed minus X, where X is the number of cups or swords rolled, then draw a card. So I shouldn't have been flipping these cards. I should have just left them unrevealed. But this must have been the only card it could have affected as well. It's the only not revealed non-face card. Okay. Oh, we still won. You won the battle. I want to try to get used to using some of my feats that I don't use very often. Holy crap, an edge upgrade! I was talking about, I think, at the end of the last episode, how I might not ever see another one of them. We have to be kind of lucky for them. So, what was I looking to select? Oh, we could take another up close and personal to use our dagger another time, 3 times each. We could increase Amazing Agile so I can benefit from having 2 face cards in my hand that I'm not able to use for evade trap challenges. Draw even more cards if I choose a sorcery as an option. I think I wanted another Sense Danger. Yeah, we'll take another Sense Danger to start. The next time I'll grab perhaps up close and personal up a rank. Yeah, let's take Sense Danger. That was really fun. We got an immediate edge upgrade for fighting a zombie. So we could, as you guys could probably tell, walk up and down this hallway endlessly, killing zombies over and over again and farming edge upgrades. But I don't think that's what you guys are interested in watching, and we don't really need that. I'm hoping we don't have to beat the game. Probably like 4 or 5 videos from now, or maybe even more. More zombies. I think it's in our best interest to probably just keep attacking them, benefiting from all of my combat abilities. Holy crap, we have a lot of face cards this time around as well. 5 total, and most of those are wands. We'll just use the dagger twice. I don't think we'll fail this challenge at all. Okay. Let's just use a 4. I'll hope that we get a better target for our King of Pentacles. And we did. Perfect. Page, actually. You won the battle. Tons of life, and now I don't need any life for the battles. Sarah's having a wonderful time now in this dungeon. Again, I fully thought we would be fleeing at the end of the 2nd episode. I am so glad that did not happen. Alright, time to go into the backyard, everyone. You see a locked iron gate. There is a rusty lock that looks like it hasn't been used in quite some time. You examine the lock mechanism. Is this a physical test? I know we can get Ores of Fortune from picking the locks, but it is far easier for us to do a physical test on this, and we do benefit from a physical test, so we'll do this instead. It looks old and rusty. A little muscle can surely spring it open? And I am super glad we did this, because I see the Knight of Wands here, and we have the Queen in our hand. We will immediately score all the points with that. And I do see that 8 of Pentacles. I have no way to really take that, because I don't have anything higher in my hand than a 6 of Pentacles, so we'll move on. Hey, that worked out, actually. Once you hit, like, 10 over the target number, so once we had 16 target points, I think we're at that point drawing 7 cards in the victory card selection. At that point, anything else is just showing off. You don't really need anything higher than that. The rusty lock splits apart after one good kick. The way lies open now. Okay, you can get Ores of Fortune from physical tests when it comes to doors. So that means breaking them down gives you the same chance as picking the lock. A pool. A dried pool. Nothing in the pool. This is the deep end. Is that right? No, this is stairs. So this must be the shallow end. And this must be the deep end here. I don't think I've ever seen a pool. Oh, we can't go into it. Maybe we can from that side. I should not walk there. I know it. You see a shotgun almost at the same time that you feel the tripwire against your foot, but it's too late. Boom. Without hesitation, you throw yourself into a crouching roll and tumble away from the line of fire. Alright, I see the 4 of Swords. So if I spend our knight to take this, we immediately will gain extra points for having an unspent King of Wands in our hand. But it's always better to spend the face cards and hold on to them. So let's see if we can do that. Let's also use Giant Leap. Roll 1 bone and then select a not revealed trick card and reveal it. If the revealed card is a non-face card, then bump it down -X. X number of cups rolled, and then draw a card. So we could use that on the 4 to make that 4 like an ace or something, and then we draw a card. But I'm going to instead try this. Feet. We'll select a different card. Nice, we lower that down to a 3, and I get to draw another card, and it was a 9 of cups. We'll spend that there immediately. Looking cups, I have no more cups. Hello, King of Swords. Can get rid of you. So we should spend the King of Wands. And note that we went up to 11 points total. This is because we are now getting the points for having the Knight of Swords in our hand. But again, we can spend it. But I think in this case, it's best that we use the 6 on the 4. So let's do that instead. Holy crap! All the kings showed up. We had the King of Wands, but the game threw the King of Cups, King of Swords, and King of Pentacles all right adjacent to each other on us. Okay, we won. You execute a tumble that would make a world-class gymnast proud. Your ears are ringing a little, but you are unscathed by the buckshot that narrowly missed your head. Dead ends are a good spot for the game to spawn traps on, because the game, I think the game probably suspects that it also spawned a doorway near the dead end. And the game likes putting traps on the other sides of doors if it can. Ooh, a park. A little garden here. Well, let's explore it. A hungry young one. This picture is actually really good. I like this one. Can I take a screenshot of that? Oh, I can't. I'm not using fraps. You see only the slightest movement of the tentacle limbs, camouflage against its background. It springs its trap. The creature is a sickening mound of flesh, appendages, and oozing slime. You are caught off guard by the smell of the creature. Wait, you are caught off guard, and the smell of the creature is overwhelming as well. I'll hope that we can spend our queen on a better card. And we can. Your mind is strong. You've seen things far worse than this. The creature seems to be covered in small mouths, each lined with razor-sharp teeth. You recognize it as some member of the Shambler species that roam the plateau of Lemuria in another dimension. A sorcerer of some skill must have summoned it here. I thought it was the plateau of Lang is what that place was called. So I did not add any other option to battling this creature, so you only still have attacking the creature as an option. We could also flee, but we actually have a better chance, I think, of defeating it, because if you see here, it says 12 tricks. No, you don't get 12 tricks, you get only ever 10. So I think it's in our best interest to beat the living snot out of this creature. It hails from another dimension, but it has a physical body. Surely it can be destroyed. 2 face cards. Tons of pentacle cards in our hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, 6 tons. Some. Many pentacle cards in our hand. Hello, 3. We have to use our swords card on you. Our Knight of Swords. Oh, wow, well, we are decimating it. The creature withstands a tremendous amount of punishment, but eventually it succumbs to its wounds. These things really are tough buggers. Another experience point. Work towards another spell. Oh, hello. Okay, we have another encounter. This time out here. Okay. Why don't I try looking at that other cultists? Because I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. So, I'll be back, everyone. Oh, Tim, don't do that. don't tap the desk of the music. People will hear that. Alright, everyone. I fixed it. I think I fixed it. So there's a few gotchas about fixing the game. From what I can tell, even if I adjust the files, I have to, I'm pretty sure, zone in order to have the game reload the file into its memory. Quitting the game, I don't think, and restarting it will fix that file. I don't quite understand how the game saves the file's information, but I could swear to you that, like, even if I find a problem and fix it with how I've modded the game, again, I need to, like, go up a floor and then back into the floor in order to have those changes actually apply themselves. But the fix was easy once I went and took a look at the game file itself. If you guys are interested, I can show you how to mod this game. It would take about an hour and a half or so for me to give you a rundown on how to do it. But it's pretty interesting, and you can, by all means, change things as you wish. It's a bit complicated because there's a huge mess of data that's difficult to read. If you are interested, the first thing I'm going to recommend that you do is pick up Notepad++ to help you see where brackets end and begin, because of how the game groups their encounter information and presents it to you. In any case, what was going on is that instead of having an encounter sorcery present for the cultists, I mistakenly just put pentacles there. This isn't going to make a whole lot of sense. Just know that I had the wrong variable name present, and so the game was greatly confused. It's like, hey, we have an idea for how you want to fight the cultists physically and with psychic powers, but for magic, you didn't tell me anything. You told me you have a stat. That doesn't help me. I can't load this creature. And so that is what was going on, and it was indeed a mission-specific creature. It was the cultists with the guns. And I think I got both cultists with the guns correctly. So in case you don't know, for all these missions that you're on, Vic Davis had it such that there are two types of encounters of the same creature. One is an easier target level to defeat than the other one. I think the game decides to spawn the tougher creatures when you're in the attic or down in the basement. So hopefully we'll see the cultists with the guns show up in the future. A giant snake! You see the cold eyes reflecting light and darkness, and you stop in your tracks. Soon the rest of the creature comes into focus, and you stand there amazed at the size of it. Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? Or in this case, one very big one. Your eyes widen in horror at the pile of bones that the snake sits upon. This thing is a killer, and you are right to be afraid. It's early enough. I'll hope that I can use my face cards as something a little better. Oh, darn it. I didn't think we'd get another cup, so I played the queen. Should have held on to her. Well, we still won. Your mind is strong. You've seen things far worse than this. Yep, and I was right. So 10 over the target number gives you 7 cards. At that point, you can just stop playing the game if you don't really care to get even more numbers over what your target level is. But I don't think it really affects what you get here. Like, if you're 70 points over the target number, the game doesn't adjust the chances of you getting good cards from the reward deck. You've read about specimens like this in all the old case files on the Fawcett Amazon expeditions, but you never thought that you would see one. You wonder who or what decided to bring this pet here and why. So, as with most of the encounters in the backyard, I did not add any other options to the game for them because I'm never really back here, so I didn't know what would be appropriate. And so, as such, your only option is to actually attack it, which would probably be the best thing for us to do anyway. Well, that and fleeing. The snake must be 30 feet long and the width of a large tree trunk. You think you can win this, but you had better keep it at arm's length. If it gets a hold of you, it could be all over very quickly. You have a good hand. Okay, so why don't we use something? Does this... That will let us bump up a bunch of our cards in our hand. Let's go ahead and do that. So we'll use Whirlwind to start. Roll 1 bone, and bump card values up on X random non-face cards in hand plus X up to 10, where X is the number of swords or cups rolled. Then draw a card. So if you roll 1, one card in my hand that is not a face card gets increased by 1 point, and we draw 1 card. If you roll a 6, 6 cards in my hand are increased by plus 6, and then we draw a card. So 4 cards got plus 4, and we drew another card. And we won. I guess I didn't really have to do that. It's at this point that I begin realizing how much I really wanted to edit some other parts of this game. I wish I could have more tricks on the board, and I wish I could redo how leveling works. Like, instead of you gaining... The idea that I had is that experience tokens would be much more rare, and instead you could convert 5 sanity or 5 life into 1 experience point, and that would be the more common way for you to level up, and with the experience points being maybe 1/10 of a frequency that you would normally find them. This way you would have to decide if you're willing to, like, do you really want another experience point, or do you want to have a little more survivability in the game? And it also make it so that you always start with at least 5 tricks on the board or something like that, and maybe a little more draw, so that the actual game you play is a little more, offers you a little more freedom to choose what you're doing. Because a big penalty, criticism I have of the game is how this board game plays itself, basically. You almost never really have to worry, worry is the wrong word, you almost never have to think about what you're doing in this game. Because as you run out of trick cards, you instinctively will begin playing your better cards rather than holding on to them. It's only when, like, I have 10 tricks that or like, well, 7 to 10 tricks and a good amount of hand draw that I'll consider holding on to a face card rather than using it instantly in order to win the challenge. It's an epic battle, but you wound the thing all over its body and head. Eventually, it stops twitching. I encountered 2 snakes in my yard this year. I think one of them was driven out of the yard. Holy crap, first aid kit! That's really nice. We'll take a look at that together. I think because I, unfortunately, killed at least one of their homes, their biomes that they live in. I had a small hedge out in my front yard, which I had removed. It was a pain in the butt to cut it all the time, and it was like designed to like be the beginning of like some sort of fence, but it wasn't actually in the part of the yard that I own, a part of my house, and it wasn't very much of it. You could easily walk around it, and so eventually I had to, the whole thing cut down this year. And there was a few, I think, black racers in my yard. I love snakes. I try to keep them alive now whenever I see them in my yard because they kill the rats or the mice. I had one mouse in my house several years ago, and it pooped all over the place. And it explored the house, and then I'm pretty sure it left the house to grab its kids or family. But there are several cats that wander the yard, and one of the cats found it and tore its head off. Because I remember finding the head in my yard like a day or 2 after I realized there was a mouse in the house. I don't think it was actually a mouse either. I think it was a... what's it called? A vor? Is that what it's called? Something like that. It looked like a pretty fearsome mouse face. I was like, holy crap, I'm glad this thing is dead. Caretaker thugs. You see the forms of several humans in the gloom ahead, but before you can evade them, the leader steps forward. He doesn't seem intent on talking. His goons form up behind him, and from the look of them, they have probably been hired to guard the grounds. By whom, and for what purpose, you have no idea. And something just doesn't feel right about them now that you have gotten a closer look. So, we'll go ahead and beat him up. You decide to take them off guard and make the first move. You launch an attack at their leader. By the way, notice how difficult this is. The difficulty is 17. I don't think the caretakers normally have a difficulty of 17. It's just that, once again, our stats are high, we have maximum amount of health and sanity, we have 6 talismans, a ton of edges, so the game is like, I need to make this tougher for you, because otherwise there's no challenge. There's still no challenge, not really, with 11 tricks and 14 draw. there you have it. Alright, we have a 6. I'll spend the page to start. And we've already won the challenge. I'll take a guess that there is a better card to use the Queen of Cups on up ahead. Oh, actually, that's probably not the case. The only card I would want to use the Queen on is the Knight of Cups, and I don't think that's going to show up here, Tim. Yeah, so let's use our Queen here. Oh, ho, ho! Good thing we did, King of Cups. You take care of the leader, and the group falls apart. Looking over their bodies, you can't find any identification. They almost look like they were under some type of mind control, but you can't be certain. Probably just fanatics, like the other cultists. I think we had that one cultist working for the Red Hand, and he decided to summon some demons as well to assist him, probably in overthrowing the current leadership of the cult. But it didn't work out for him in the end. He was panicking and summoned the wrong demon. And these guys must just be working for the cult. Okay, the last spell we're going to get to choose. Roll 1 bone, select a non-face card in your hand, discard, then add the numerical value of that card to X random non-face cards of the same suit in hand. Let's take Hyper... Oh, I do like Chant of Azazoth, make something an ace. Let's choose Chant of Azazoth. Roll 1 bone and select a revealed face card and transform it into an ace. Then draw X cards, where X is the number of pentacles rolled divided by 2. If a drawn card has a numerical value of less than or equal to the number of pentacles rolled, then add 2 points to your trick taken score. So in other words, we roll 1 bone, but it doesn't matter what it is, we get to transform that face card to an ace anyway. We draw cards equal to the bone that we rolled divided by 2, which is, so roll 6, that's a 3. And then, if we drew like a 4, because we rolled a 6 in our hypothetical, we would actually gain 2 points to our trick taking score. Every card we draw that's worth less than the card, than the pentacles we rolled, adds 2 points to us. Oh, and it only weighs 1 pound. I thought it weighed 2. I guess we'll take another Hyperborean Spell Edge. Chant of Azazoth. Sorcery Battle Dispel. Oh, Sorcery Battle Dispel, not Combat. Sorcery Battle Dispel for Touch of Paralysis. Combat Sorcery Battle. Combat Sorcery Battle. Sorcery Battle Dispel for Chant of Azazoth, so not Combat. Oh, what's the big difference? Well, this means most physical challenges are considered combat, so you can still use your sorceries in them. But sometimes a combat is considered a battle, not a combat. I know that's really weird, but there you have it. And so that determines whether or not your certain spells will be available to use or not. It looks like our Chant of Azazoth, for example, can only be used when we're using sorcery to help us fight, as opposed to our Typhon's Embrace, Shrivel Flesh, and Touch of Paralysis. Oh, I'm sorry, Touch of Paralysis can be used in combat, sorcery, battle, and dispel. So, yep. So there is that aspect of the game to keep track of as well. And here they are, finally. I got it fixed. Oh, well, maybe I have it fixed. Let's see. Let's try to fight them. You have stumbled into an armed patrol of cultists. You hear shouting and then see the flash of weapons being fired. They don't intend to ask any questions. Well, let's go ahead and carve them up to start. You enjoy nothing more than a good stand-up firefight. They're human, so they will die all the same. We can't use Chant of Azazoth because we chose combat. That doesn't help us. Alright, let's cast Typhon's Embrace. Oof! You roll less than equal to a Pentacles attribute, however, we must take 1 mandatory wound for rolling the Typhon's Embrace dice. Then, select up to 2 revealed face trick cards and transform them into non-face suits of the same suit. with the value equal to the number of cards that were selected times 2, then draw a card. So we're just going to select the queen, which transfers her, into a 2, and we drew another card, and I can take that 2 with my 5 of pentacles. It occurs to me that I probably should be trying to use my abilities at least once per fight to show you guys how they work. In case you guys... I know some of you actually do own this game as well. That's pretty rare. This game isn't on Steam. It's not on GOG. It's a very old game as well, right? When was this made? 2008? 2009 or so, I think? It's been around for a while. You won the battle. The cultist bodies lie strewn across the floor. Maybe you can find something useful on them. Yep. The gunners give you a chance for a lot of bullets. I didn't even edit that. That's always been the case. Alas, again, we have a flintlock, so we're not using our flintlock. I really want to just hold on to the flintlock so we can use our heroic feats. But it looks like I did indeed fix it. We'll grab another Hyperborean Edge. And I think we will grab Hyperborean Lore. Whenever a spell of the Hyperborean subtype is cast, face cards can be... Oh, no. We want to do this instead. Whenever a spell of the Hyperborean subtype is cast, non-face cards can be bumped up to a face card as follows. At Edge level 1, up to a Page. At level 2, a Knight. At level 3, a Queen. Level 4, a King. This will let me use that one discard and then select cards in my inventory and bump those values. Wait. I didn't choose that as a spell, Tim. You don't have that. You took Curse of Azathoth, so this isn't going to help you. So no, don't select that. Let's choose instead Hyperborean Spellcraft, so we can use our Hyperborean spells multiple times in a battle. And now we are all done with the Hyperborean Sorcery Specialist, so we'll go for a Ranged Edge next. Might as well investigate the pool. Hello? A giant wicker man! You hear the rustling somewhere nearby in the bushes. It sounds wrong. You slowly turn towards the sound and try to pierce the gloom to figure out what it is. Just when you think you have let your imagination run wild and turned a squirrel into a monster, it emerges from the gloom. You can't believe your eyes at first. It's a gigantic wicker man. Inside are limp human figures, and they seem to be alive. In a flash, the Wicker Man bursts into flames, and the screaming begins. Simply unbelievable. You stare in horror as the burning figures shift around all the time, screaming in agony. You can't get the screams out of your head. The creature bends over as if it were observing you. A chill runs down your spine as you realize it is sizing you up for its collection of sacrifices, jailed within its wooden body. Your mind is strong. You see things far worse than this. Have we? You fought half a dozen pagan cults and always come out in one piece. Well, that's why the Odd probably sent us here. You've read the case files on the Odd mission. To summarize, off the coast of Scotland, a pagan cult had infiltrated the entire town and an Odd agent had been lost during the investigation, sacrificing a wicker man similar to this one. You look at the flaming creature and realize that your report will top this Summer Isle incident by quite some distance. You can't remember any instance of a magically animated wicker man that perpetually roasts its victims alive. You hope you can survive this to file your report. Let's use sorcery. We'll have a chance, I think, to get some arcane energy from this if we win. Some type of pagan sorcery must hold this thing together. You are sure that you can dispel it if you can first probe its patterns and identify them more precisely. Okay, so that's a bit awkward. Because, yep, we see that Queen of Pentacles there, and I don't have an answer for her. I thought this was a dispel, but I guess it's actually a battle? Oh, I haven't flipped over any cards yet, which is why only Touch of Paralysis is available. Roll 1 bone and then select X non-face cards in your hand and switch them randomly with X not revealed trick cards. Okay, let's do that. We got a few very low cards in our hand. So Touch of Paralysis it is. We can select up to 4 cards. We'll give you the 2 and the 3 and that 2. And that 2. You can have all my low cards. And we gained, it looks like, some much better cards in return. I think we picked up quite a few knights. Now, I still don't have an answer for the queen. So let's go ahead and flip her first. And then, can I cast? Yep, Chant of Azathoth. Let's go ahead and give this a try. Transformed her into an ace. And we actually drew an ace. Which is equal, which is lower, which is, I think, the value of 1, which means we actually scored 2 points thanks to Curse of Azathoth as well. That's pretty amazing. The odds of that happening are extremely low. All right, now we have that. Now we have that ace to deal with. So let's give it to 6. I think we'll use the knight here. Ooh, Queen of Swords was still... Oh, I had the King of Swords and didn't even realize it. That was really dumb of me. I should have checked. When you draw cards... So, normally the game puts cards in your hand when you draw your hand from highest to lowest, putting them all of the same suit all together. However, when you start drawing cards into your hand as a result of cards that you're playing because of skills or spells, it just adds them to the end of your hand. And so you should always, at the moment you begin doing that, like drawing cards into your hand, shuffling your hand with cards on the trick board, etc., you should really check to make sure that you didn't pick up a better card to use in that instance. I saw the Knight of Swords, assumed that was the highest card because of the way the cards are placed in your hand, and it was totally not. I had a King of Swords there, and I should have used that instead. It doesn't matter in the end. We're 14 points over our target number. But still, I need to be... I should always play the game as if I'm on the ropes. You channel your energy into a series of waves that ripple across the Wicker Man. It topples over confused, but not harmed. You think you have figured out the charm of unmaking. You remember the dark druidic chant of Mefler and Morian. Enel Nathlak Urthron Vas Blethad Dak Hildro Dedven. The Wicker Man explodes like a Roman candle into the sky. Okay. What are we taking here? So again, I don't really want to take something that takes advantage of the fact we can use our flintlock, because until we get another another gun, I'm not going to ever fire that flintlock. Oh, okay, hold on. So there is a card, there is an edge that lets us reduce the bullets we use. The ammo cost of the first weapon used in any combat challenge is reduced by X, down to a minimum of 0, where X is the level of the edge. So let's take high accuracy. How many bullets does it take to fire a flintlock? Just 1. Perfect. So now we can use our flintlock, because as long as we use it just once per combat, which I think we're limited to at the moment, because we don't have an edge that lets us fire it multiple times, we actually should not use any ammo from it. So I think we'll try that in the next battle we're in. I thought there was a edge that did that, but I wasn't 100% sure, so I'm glad I found that. Cultist Guardians. Well, let's go ahead and shoot them up. Alright, so let's go a little crazy here. So we'll start by using Whirlwind. And it didn't improve any of my wand cards, which is what I was hoping for. We'll use our trench knife. I really should not be doing this. I should be waiting until I spend some of the cards in my hand. Darn it. Okay, and you got a Queen of Wands. We'll just give you that. An Ace. I will fire the gun. I will fire the gun. I'm just waiting to see if I can have a good card to use to do so. Okay, what's our gun do? Is it +2? Just +2, so that's not worth using at the moment. I said to fire the gun, but apparently I'm not going to fire the gun. We're 11 points over anyway, so I will try to fire it to make sure that it doesn't use any ammo. Oh, we picked up that one med kit. We didn't even look at it, did we? First aid kit. +1 cups bonus. Very nice. 2 uses remaining. Add X points to your health stat, where X is the sum of your cups and wands attributes. So if we use this, we would gain 15 points of life, and we can use it twice before it's out. But that +1 cups bonus makes it... It's more important, I feel, to hold on to that, because we want those points in cups. There's probably a trap down here somewhere. We haven't seen a grenade tripwire trap yet. Hello, a gazebo. Okay, that's it for the backyard. No witches. You know, another encounter we have not seen is the carpet of bugs. That must be in the attic, would be my guess. The green slime and the carpet of bugs are almost always present on the first or second floor. Okay, let's try using our gun, because we can change our 6 into an 8. So we'll use our old flintlock, round ball. Oh, it chooses a random card? It's a random non-face card. Okay, darn it. I thought we could at least choose. Alright, so it looks like it chose the ace and leveled it to a 3. Let's get rid of it. And you'll note, though, that we still have 5 ammo. So, yep, we can use this. Now we can use our flintlock every single fight. It works similarly to the trench knife, only instead of a random number, it's just a 2 points. So it's worse than the trench knife in almost every way imaginable. However, that old flintlock has given us the option to use those heroic feats in several other battles. So don't, just because you get the flintlock, doesn't mean that you're in that bad of a situation if you have heroic feats that you can use to take advantage of the fact that you own a pistol. I'm going the wrong direction. It's too late now. Yep, you get a lot of bullets from cultists. I don't know why. That's the way it works. All right, so, this is the last edge of this sort we're gonna get. I don't want to get additional uses of pistol weapons because I think our other edge that reduces the bullet cost only works the first time that you fire it. We'll take Charm Trigger Finger. Whenever a ranged weapon's special ability is used, X is added to the bump down... Nope. You won't take that. Whenever a ranged weapon's special ability is used, X is added to the bump up applied to any non-face played cards. Nope, it's still not useful because this affects cards in my hand. Okay. Whenever a ranged weapon's special ability is used, X is added to the bump up applied to any non-face cards as a result of hand cards, as a result where X is the level of the edge. You know what would really help here? If the text had different colors in it to help you pay attention to when the card is used, because there's a big difference between using Sharpshooter, Lucky Shot, or Charmed Trigger Finger. So yeah, so we'll take Sharpshooter. And the last thing we'll probably be picking is Heroic Defensive Feat. We don't really need any more of them, but we'll obviously take them. And now that is the backyard completely searched. Alright everyone, time to begin the second floor. We could race across the planks here, just to show you what that encounter is like, but there's no reason for us to risk our life. You'll fall down, there's a chance you'll take damage, or we'll be in the basement, and I want to explore every inch of this place for you guys. This is the only one of the Occult Chronicles I plan on playing this fall. Okay, so let's search all of the second floor. I can't remember if we found 2 tricks up here. Clues. Generally, there's 2 clues in the first floor, 2 clues on the second floor, 1 clue in the attic, 1 random clue that's somewhere, anywhere, 1 clue in the basement level 1, and then you have the special clue token on basement level 3. To my recollection, all the missions have a special clue token, which greatly impacts the final encounter. But getting it requires you adventuring, again, down on the basement 3rd floor. That area is just a winding maze full of traps, and that single clue token. We might try getting it this time around because we have disabled the story tokens. You get more zombies. One more experience point, and that will be the only experience point I'll be able to spend. We'll be maxed out. I'm pretty sure we're not going to pick up any other... we won't pick up any new... I think when we take this last skill, it's not going to reset and give me another skill at that level. You'll note that sometimes when you complete a option on the skill card, it doesn't get rid of that option. It instead spawns a new one there. All of those options are fixed, by the way, in the game files. I tried altering what's present for them, and I can't get it to work, unfortunately. All right, this will be the Cultist Magician. You are completely surprised by the sight of a sorcerer, priest of the tentacled ones. We shouldn't be. I expected this. It's a sorcerer of some sort. It's already swinging red balls of power, and already swirling red balls of power are forming up within its grasp. You have heard stories of such creatures, but the sudden appearance of one has sent you teetering on the brink of panic. The taint of the elder alien god permeates this place, and the horrific nature of the sorcerer priest is enough to send even a grizzled odd agent running away in terror. Not this odd agent. It's been a long time since I was running away from ghosts. You have kept your sanity. You've had quite a few brushes with squiddies, and they don't frighten you in the least. I was about to say, I'm looking for... We might as well keep selecting cards until we were maxed out on sanity, and now we are. The Sorcerer Priest isn't even stopping for pleasantries. You are an intruder, and it intends to cleanse you from its temple as quickly as possible. You have to decide now whether to stand and make a fight, or just run for your life. We will, of course, stand and fight. We can carve it up easier than we can spell it, but I think we'll spell it instead, because I think we can get some arcane energy. You will test your sorcery on the tentacled Sorcerer Priest. You can sense a strong energy level emanating from it. This probably won't be an easy battle. Man, I just right now begin thinking of what it was like for Sarah Anawa using her time spells in Anachronox, and how awesome it was, and how we'll never ever get the continuation of that game. That's a real shame. That was a great game. Okay, so we see an 8 of Swords and a 6 of Wands up there. Wow, we have a nice hand. King of Pentacles, King of Swords, and Queen of Wands in our hand. Let's begin flipping. So we'll use the King. We have any cups in our hand? We only have 4. Queen of Cups. We have no other cups. That was dumb. I should have flipped the other cards first, because if one of these is a face swords card, we could have really benefited from it. The squid-headed priest melts before your raw power of your sorceress energy. All that is left is a steaming puddle and some singed robes. Perfect, that's what I was hoping for. Lots of arcane energy. Your attention is caught by the soft flickering light of candles in the gloom. You then notice the curving shapes that the candles are perched upon. You are viewing a stone shrine of some sort. Suddenly, you realize that the curved shapes are stone tentacles spread out in front of you. There is an aura of absolute evil that pervades the area around this secret shrine. As your gaze comprehends the entire outline of the shrine, you shrink back in horror. You're confronted by what is obviously a stone carving depicting one or another of the elder alien gods, the tentacled ones as they are known. Cold tentacles sweep out and seem to draw you into the maw of the creature. You must fight to keep your sanity. You recognize the tentacled illusion for what it is, and shrug off its attempt to deceive you. You stand before an imposing stone sculpture depicting one of the legendary alien gods of the tentacled pantheon. You sense a palpable aura of evil emanating from the shrine. Dark magics permeate the very rock from which it was carved. You are not yet ready to risk seeking its forbidden knowledge. There's a quest somewhere that if we do find it, we can come back here and interact with that thing. I think it's probably in the attic. Telazrati scientist Zur. You are confronted with a creature from some type of horrible nightmare. It towers over 7 feet tall and seems covered in a sticky, translucent slime. You can only describe it as a combination of snail, cucumber, and octopus. You fight to control your revulsion. This thing is not of our world. It must be from another dimension entirely. You feel overcome with dread and a sickening revulsion. Your eyes widen in disbelief as the strange creature turns to look at you. Nice try, Queen of Cups, but we had the King of Cups in our hand. Is this a horror challenge, Tim? You have no doubt that you could overcome the fear that this nightmarish thing wishes to instill in you. Telazrati, remember your briefings on the Tunguska event of 1908. A portal had been opened by this interdimensional race of aliens. An invasion had been foiled by a precursor to the Odd when the portal generator was overloaded. It had been a narrowly won victory. An interdimensional war had followed. The creature is obviously a group leader. There will be more of these things around. One thing that you are pretty sure of is these things can bleed. No cups in our hand. No cups in our hand. Doesn't matter how many of them we flip over. We don't have a King of Swords either. We don't have a King of Wands either. lost. We lost. Wow. If you try to hit one of these things, then don't miss. You'll have to learn the lesson the hard way. Again. That was really, really, really super unlucky. And we have no cups in our hand, so we can't do anything about the Queen of Cups. The creature is mortally wounded and crumples down into a gelatinous heap. Oh, we get another heroic feat after this. Burst of speed. Roll one bone and then... Oh, hold on. What is duck and roll? These two are exactly the same. Burst of speed. Roll one bone and then select X non-face cards in hand, where X is the number of cups rolled, and bump their card values up plus Y, where Y is your cups attribute, plus X, max of 10. Then draw a card. Now, if we take another heroic feat, we have to actually drop something from our cups inventory, so we're not going to spend that final point, I think. You see rows and rows of books. Most of the material is quite pedestrian, and what one would expect to find in a library of a large estate like this. However, occasionally you come across an item that is more esoteric, and you wonder what secrets and knowledge might be hidden here. You'll never know, unless you look, of course. You decide to inspect the bookshelf more closely. You scan over the titles, and occasionally pull a volume out to get a better look. We really want to win this encounter, because I think there's a chance for us to get a spell. The odds of there being a Queen of Cups here is very low, so I'll spend our King there. We'd have to spend him anyway. Let's go. Holy crap, we have a ton of face cards in our hand. Let's just begin spending all of them. That was really lucky. Nice. Yeah, very good. This looks promising. You think you might have found something. Think there's a chance we can earn a spell from this? Nothing. This might be, yeah, this is part of a quest now, but we haven't found the quest giver, so we'll just have to leave it there at the moment. I'm not going to spend those experience points because I don't want to have to choose. I like all my feats I currently have, so if we lose a feat, which is totally possible, that could happen, then we'll level it up and choose a feat. Or if I use maybe the, if I use, not the Black Heart, the First Aid Kit. Actually, we could get rid of the Black Heart. What does this do again? Stops us from being reduced to 0 sanity. However, it doesn't prevent an instant insanity card from it affecting us that way. This is probably the wrench. You see a large wrench that has been attached to a very old steam pipe that runs along the top of the wall. The wrench seems to be the focus of something supernatural, possessing a slight aura of some sort. The aura radiates a hint of eldritch evil as far as you can tell, but it's more like a warning, danger, caution. You decide to twist the wrench to remove it. It looks old and nearly rusted onto the bolt, but sometimes kicking a hornet's nest stirs things up. Are you sure about this? It's a physical test. Yep, so we'll get a single scry. We can't do anything about that 10. We have a bunch of low... Well, not too much. Not too many low cards. We only have one page in our hand as a face card. We're probably not winning this. Oh, okay. Nope. We probably now are. Shouldn't jinx it, Tim. It wasn't easy, but you pull on the wrench until it gradually comes free. At first nothing happens, but then the pipes begin to rattle. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea after all. More rope! We can get more rope? No, we have a grappling hook, and now we also have rope. So, we will drop the Black Heart and claim the rope. You step back from the pipes, but it's too late. Tendrils of red vapor swirl out from the pipe and coalesce into giant tentacles. You can feel an oppressive eldritch evil now permeate the room. You can feel its hunger. The tentacles seek you out, and you are certain that they want to consume your soul. You fight to keep your courage from utterly leaving you at this crucial moment. The tentacles intend to floss you with your soul. They tend to floss with your soul, and the very idea is disturbing. Thank you for showing up, Queen of Swords. We can actually win because we have the king in our hand. You have kept your sanity. You stand your ground and maybe even feel a bit stronger. The ghost tentacles flail at you, attempting to wrap themselves around you and then seek your soul. It's an embrace that would leave your body lifeless on the cold floor and your essence transformed into some bizarre part of the spiritual food chain. So we don't actually have to kill this creature. We can actually just run from it. But I'm going to try fighting it. Just once. You know that you can fight and even destroy this apparition by channeling and directing your psychokinetic energy, but you have no doubt that failure will be very costly. Oh, we don't have a great hand. We don't have any number cards in our hand that's higher than a 6, and we have 2 face cards. So this is going to go very badly, I suspect, for us. You launch your psychokinetic attack, but quickly realize that you are in over your head. Blood gushes from out of your eyes, ears, and nose, and you fall to your knees. This could be bad. I will be choosing at least this one. That talisman. We are very lucky that we didn't get any horrific effects placed on us. Let's just flee. Discretion's often the better part of valor, and you suspect this might be one of those times. What card can I use here? Burst of Speed? What does this do? Roll 1 bone and then select X non-face cards in hand and bump their values up. Plus Y? Sure, let's do this. And we didn't need to do it. You will yourself to turn and run. Soon you feel yourself free of the aura of oppressive hunger that once surrounded you. Remember, never, ever, ever choose a card from a reward deck after fleeing. The only thing you will gain is negative courage cards. Don't draw them. We'll attack the ninjas. Maybe we can get lucky not to spend our queen. Looks like we are going to have to spend it anyway. Actually, let's go ahead and use... Where's Whirlwind? There's no difference, by the way, between rolling a bone of swords and bone of cups at this stage in the game. Our stats for both are 10, so we can never fail a check, no matter which bone that we use. Oh, nice! Hey, that increased, I think that increased one of my number cards to a knight? No, we drew the knight. We drew the knight. Well, let's go ahead and use it. Ah, I must say, that might have been a waste, and it totally was a waste. I'm really glad, actually, we used all our cards. Some of our abilities. We got more high-level cup cards because of it. You won the battle. The cultist bodies lie strewn across the floor. Maybe you can find something useful on them. Like bullets? Oh, what am I doing? These get flipped too. Yep, like bullets that we can't use. And everyone, I think we should probably stop. So we're going to go ahead and turn this quest in first on the other side of the second floor. In the next episode, we'll explore the third floor get probably some more quests, try to complete more quests, and then we'll be ready for the basement. Let's first turn this in. I think with our high aura, we have a good chance to get something useful from this guy. Oh, holy crap! We also have... Oh, right, when we picked up that one... the new cups item, that also gives us plus... What did we just pick up in cups? The rope. The rope. Which also affects climb -6 target level. Very nice. So let's complete the quest. You decide to tell the ghost that you found the wrench and pretend to give it to him. Well done. I'd hoped that you would now be my apprentice, but it looks like you were too smart or quick for that. Oh well, time is wasting. Got more of these holes to plug. This one here was just a small leak. With that said, the ghost vanishes. Twist Fate! We gained a psychic card, our first one. We'll take a look at that together when we're done with this. The Chariot, another Arcana card. Your successful flee challenges are converted automatically into evasions, allowing you to stay in the location where your challenge occurred while this card is in your inventory. So now when we choose the flee option, we don't need to try to target a very high number in order to stay in the spot where we were located. Normally, if you do a flee option, and I think you have less than 5 over the target number, you actually will take a step back. This makes it difficult for you to circumvent an encounter if you're trying to flee past it. You have to actually evade the encounter. This will let us automatically evade. Okay, let's take a look at that one psychic card we picked up. I think these all weigh 2 points as well. Roll 1 bone to test for success. Then add 1 to all bone rolls during the resolution of the option chosen for the encounter. Nice. So if we have the option to always use this, I guess. Is that correct? Combat, yep. So in combat, we can use our Twist Fate card, and that will make it so that whenever we roll a bone, from then on, 1 is added to it. So you can use this to make your other spells and or skills have a chance to be slightly stronger than they would normally be, at the cost that you're going to get 10 points of psychic pushback. Remember, the more psychic pushback you have, I think the greater the chance of a really bad card showing up in your fail list. I think your failure deck if you do fail a challenge. Okay, well, we're going to stop here, everyone. So thank you guys for watching. By the way, did the pipes vanish? I think they do on completion of that. Oh, no, they don't. They're still there. Interesting. All right, so yeah, that does it for us. So what happened in this episode? So we've basically wrapped up our character. Actually, I guess we can take the heroic feat. Let's do it. And we have almost nothing left that we can take. We'll take... no, we don't need guess for evasion. I don't really need any of these. I guess we'll take it. Is that right? No. Grab one of these instead. Duck and roll. Roll 1 bone and then select X revealed non-face trick cards and bump their card values down -X, where X number of cups rolled, then draw a card. Alright, so in this episode, Sarah Anawa has managed to select every single level up from her skill cards. She is now at max efficiency, I suppose. She still has 6 talismans. She didn't take any real penalties during this battle. We lost a little bit of this episode. We lost a little bit of sanity. We picked up our first psychic card, psychic talent card. We gained a good amount of heroic feats and more cups items. We grabbed at least 1 more spell, Chant of Azazoth, and we grabbed yet another Arcana card, the Chariot, so things are looking really good for her. We'll wrap up the attic in the next episode, and we might even start the basement level 1. We're probably 4 episodes away from beating the game, I would imagine. So thank you guys for watching, and I will look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Take care, everyone.